Welcome to 10Q Interview. This is episode 4 in the Summer Advice series, where we talk to creators and get pearls of wisdom and words of advice from them that they have discovered on their journey. This week, you can expect such wisdom from Ross Jones, Ilya Vajestica, Yuri Shilders, and Jan Keck. Now, onto the podcast. Ross Jones, talk to me about let's use your kid then, 18. Said if he came up to you and said he wanted to start a YouTube channel, what would you say to him?
Yeah, I'd say go for it. I'd ask him why, what he wanted to do, what his goals were with it. But I wouldn't mind him doing that at all. I think that whether it's YouTube or something else, whatever he wanted to do, content creation behind that has a meaning. You know, if you have a direction that you're heading in or you have a goal, I think content creation is one of the best ways to try and market that. You know, it's marketing at the end of the day, and I think that being able to understand that it is, and it's not just, you know, I'm just starting a YouTube channel. Like, what is your goal? What do you want to do? But also, I'd say it's fucking hard. Like, it's not easy. You've got to be in it for the long haul. And if you want to do it, then it's going to get tough, and you have to understand that that's the goal that you're pushing towards, and stick to it.
You used the word goal quite a few times there. Is it important to have a goal?
I think it sets direction. So, like I said, I didn't know what my overall goal with the channel is, but my main goal is to share my experience of trying to get to, you know, what I'd call probably financial freedom or whatever that looks like, and not retire when I'm decrepit or more decrepit than I am. So that is my goal. As loose as it might be, that is just my goal. And it might change along the way, and that's fine. But I have something that sets a direction. And I think if you don't have that level, it's harder to aim towards something. And it comes to that balance, right? And it's the balance of having a goal because then you meet that thing. So I don't like a goal of like, oh, I want to get to X number of subs, or I want to get to. So metrics are hard for me to have a goal behind, because you'll hit it and you'll go, okay, what now? Do I just stop or do I carry on? So it's like having more of a long-term goal that's in your mind that sets that direction that you can just, and then you can have like this whole direction that goes like that. So I think having something to aim for, as in that isn't a tangible metric, I think is important.
Ilya Vajestica, what's the best piece of advice you've ever heard, or some of, if there's multiple?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because there's lots of good things over time that you pick up.
And forget, no doubt.
And forget. This is the thing. Forget.
Yeah.
But one that sticks with me, and I don't say it's a piece of advice, but maybe it's just a saying. But my great granddad, who I'm named after, he was quite a wise man. He famously said to my dad, and I don't quote me on this, I'll probably get it wrong. But basically, he said, if you see, and I'm not going to swear, but if you see crap somewhere, so if you see some crap happening, don't walk to it, don't walk through it. Otherwise, you'll get crap on your shoes and spread the crap everywhere. So essentially, it's kind of like a metaphor for like gossip or getting involved in the wrong things. And it's just saying, if you walk through that or you get involved in that, then a piece of it lands on you too, and so you spread that elsewhere. So it's like negativity spreads more negativity. My other grandfather said, my grandfather said, just life is just a set of problems, just one problem after another. It's just how you kind of deal with them. So I've learned lessons from my grandparents, because I guess, and my own dad has many sort of sayings and phrases he's instilled in me over the years, which sometimes I use and apply to what I'm doing.
But I love that. I've asked that question of a lot of people, and I've not heard that one before. But it is actually, so I guess what the advice is don't go near the crap.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah. Otherwise it'll ruin your nice shoes.
But it's solid advice. I like it.
Yeah. And then, you know, like my dad would just tell me, like, if always try and do your best and keep your promise. So if you say to somebody, I'll get that to you today, then try and keep that to the best of your word, because it often makes a good impression on somebody if you say to I'll get that to you, and you keep your word, and it builds trust and things like that. So yeah, from my dad, my grandfather, my great grandfather, I've kind of got words of wisdom, and I guess that's the same for many people.
There is. I was going to say, there's some wisdom in that heritage there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to what we were talking about earlier about stories and metaphors and phrases that have been passed down from generation to generation. They're kind of like life lessons and learning points for the next generation. So yeah, I try and follow some of those sage words of advice, of wisdom, if I can.
Love it. Yuri Shielders, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever heard?
No one cares. No one cares. No one cares whether you succeed or not. And that sounds really grim. I mean that in the most positive way, because knowing that I can't rely on somebody else to do this for me. My parents have passed away already quite a while back. I don't have any major kind of safety net, and as in I've got a business, got some money in the bank, that's all good. So I'm not worried about that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to do it. I don't believe that anybody's coming to rescue me. I don't think I deserve anything. I hate that when people say this. They'll look at my YouTube channel and go, you deserve more subscribers. I'm like, I deserve exactly the amount of subscribers I have. It's as simple as that. If I create better stuff that goes to more people, I will see growth. I'm a true believer of that. So this whole nobody cares is not to demotivate. It actually lights a fire in me, because knowing that nobody else cares, it's like, well, damn it, I'm just going to have to do it myself, right? Yeah. I'm going to have to care myself. And even if it's caring about the most tiny things that nobody else cares about the tea I made this morning, or about, this little cool little gimmick I put in a video, a little effect that I have, even if I'm excited about it, that's okay with me. I don't mind.
It's solid advice. And actually, you're not the first person to say something along those lines.
Nice.
And it comes back to what you're saying earlier about the YouTube thing, wasn't it? And putting content out there and putting yourself out there. No one cares. And as a result, that shouldn't stop you from doing it.
Exactly.
And listen, I am a victim of that. I'm not going to stand on my high horse and say that, because I have for many years not done things because of that. And it took me a long time to realize it. But once you do realize it, it's quite empowering.
I think it is. I think it's super empowering. And I think, we just talking about soapbox, not getting back to the soapbox, but the other thing that really annoys me is a victim mindset.
Yeah.
As in, I can't do this because I'm that, or I've never had this because my dad never hugged me, or because I'm from this country, because I don't have that education. Sure, we're all dealt a different hand of cards. I understand that. It's not always fair, but everybody's got a chance to play that hand of cards as good as they can. And then being a victim is just not useful. I find it so unproductive and so unuseful. Then again, that's me. Somebody might say, well, it's easy for you to say because you're a white cisgender male, in the Netherlands. Okay, sure. Fine. I don't mind.
No. But yeah, no one cares. It's solid. I think it's...
Yeah, so you're going to have to care and pay on the kindness to other people. I don't mean it in a I'm going to show care to other people. Be the change you want to see, right? I mean,
yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to have to do it. Like if you sit down in the corner, Chris, and you go, my podcast isn't working and I'm not growing as fast as I want, nobody cares. Because at the end of the day, your kids are going to come up and they're going to want to play and they want to do stuff. You're going to have to get up and just keep going anyway.
Yeah.
And I find it very empowering. That's what I'm trying to say with this one. It's supposed to be very. It's supposed to be a way to simplify a lot of things and then to empower you to just go do it anyway.
Yes.
See where it takes you.
And Jan Keck, if someone came up to you and said they wanted to start their own YouTube channel, what would you tell them?
Get clear on who your audience is. I now have Ed's voice in my head. Get really clear on who your audience is and what challenges they might face that you can help them with. And like this is maybe thinking that that person is going to create some kind of educational content.
Yeah.
Because of course there's lots of other content. So Figure out who your audience is, what they're looking for. Ideally, and this is something that I've been doing for the last few years, and I would not ever launch anything without that anymore. Have conversations with them. Like actually get on a call with them and have conversations, so you really get to know them so well, almost
Right.
better than they know themselves. So when you put out content, it resonates immediately.
Can I play
'Cause
devil's
otherwi- yeah.
advocate for a second?
Yeah.
Why is it that the audience is more important than you and like what you want to create?
I think you bring up another really good point, which is maybe the first step should be figuring out why you want to create videos in the first place.
Right.
Because if you're an artist and you just like to create videos for the sake of creating art,
Yeah.
then you don't need to talk to anyone. You just
Yeah.
create it and put it out there. But I think if you want to grow a YouTube channel that gathers subscribers and has some kind of impact on
Yeah.
like helping people, supporting people, then you should talk to them first. Because it's
Okay.
very easy to in your head go like, oh, this is what people need, so let me create it and put it out there and then get crickets. Because
It's like a business, right?
done that before, exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like even with my business, I totally believe in building out loud. Like same thing that I did with my email list. I said like, hey, I am planning to send out an email. Subscribe here. I haven't
Yeah.
even sent out the first email yet.
Yeah.
But once I had enough subscribers, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to start doing this. I probably would do the same thing with YouTube and say like, hey, I'm planning to start a channel, and maybe that's the first video that is on there. I'm planning to start a channel on this topic. If
Yeah.
that's interesting, subscribe here. I don't know. If there's 100 subscribers, I'll create the next video, or I don't know. I don't know if I would actually put that 100 subscribers on there, but the idea of telling people what you're doing before you're doing it, because that already helps like for myself build some momentum and excitement, and then holds me accountable to actually follow through. Because it's very easy to say, oh yeah, I'm going to start, and then you're like, oh, today I'm not feeling so good, oh, today I don't have a good idea, oh, today I don't know where to put my camera. Like the hardest part is actually starting, and just put out the first video. Just do it, and then later you can always delete it.
Thank you for tuning in, folks. I hope you got some value out of that. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribed everywhere you may watch or listen to this. And if you think of someone who would get some real insight or some value out of also checking it out, make sure you share it with them. Take care of yourselves.